Welcome to the awesome. I'm Big Roy and this is Marvel Strike Force. Let's talk about Dark Dimension. It came out last week. It's just as brutally hard as they said it would be. We learned two big things. Number one is a whole lot of people are cheating using hacks because multiple people are getting 100% within the first few hours of it coming out with ridiculously low-powered teams, so they're clearly hacking, and they have removed them from the leaderboard. One quick thing, it is nice that you don't have to take a full team of 5 in there, so if you have an odd number of characters, or if you just want to send a few guys in to eat ultimates, you can do that. So that is a nice part of the Dark Dimension node. Anyways, back to the cheaters. They have been removing them from the leaderboards, which is nice. There's still quite a few on there, so it looks like they're manually checking, reviewing them, and then taking them out. It's pretty messed up. Who knows how long these guys have been cheating and taking Blitz, Arena, and Raid rewards from legit people. So Fox and X really needs to up their cheat detection game and get them out of here quickly, because it's horrible for the game and it sucks for everyone that's losing out on better rewards. The other big thing we learned is if you don't have Black Widow at 6 stars and or a Fury Shield team at 6 stars, you're not going to make a lot of progress in this mode very quickly whatsoever. I, of course, do not have either. My Black Widow's 5 stars, so I'm struggling quite a bit. It also doesn't help that a lot of my key characters like Vision, Doctor Strange, Star-Lord, Rocket Raccoon are also not 6 stars. So I just got to chip away at a node each day, try to take out 1 to 3 enemies, and slowly make my way through it. That's what I think a lot of people have to do, especially free to play, if you can even field a team for it yet, because you do have to have 6-star characters. Another thing is a lot of the characters I like to play with that have cool stuff that happens when enemies die aren't quite as good, like Black Panther, Gamora, Thanos, because not a lot of enemies are going to be dying very quickly because they have so many hit points. Other characters that aren't quite as good in this mode are heavy AoEers, especially with long cooldowns, just because there's usually 1 or more healers in each wave, so a lot of that damage gets healed right back up. Like in the beginning node here, you got the Kree Nobles that can end up healing the other Kree Nobles and the 2 Koraths. So it's best to try to single target burst stuff down. You can't really burst as much just because things have tons of hit points. So your best bet is to try to focus down one character, try to crowd control the healers and buffers, or just send in some of your lower guys to make them waste their buffs, like the Kingpin buff. You want him to waste that on a crappier team that you have, and then he's so slow that he won't use it for a long time. Another character that isn't quite as good is my boy Crossbones. I've loved him since day one, but he's not as good in this one just because he uses his detonate. Then you have to wait a long time before it comes back because everything is persistent. So when they are healed at the reset each day, they don't get all the energy back like they're coming in fresh. It saves all the energy, so you gotta wait a long time. So a lot of the characters that in a lot of modes, they're great because you can just come in with them fresh. In this mode, characters like Crossbones will only be good every 2 to 3 days, just because he won't be able to use his detonate because they won't survive long enough. Now, one character that can be good in here is Mercenary Lieutenant. He's not quite Black Widow. He can give speed up and offense up, but he can't stealth, can't wipe debuffs off of him. Can't stun or do nasty bleeds, so he's not as good as Black Widow, but he can still help you out with the speed up and the offense up, plus you're going to want him for payday anyways. And speaking of payday characters, Deadpool seems like he'll be really good in this mode. His ultimate can put bleeds on minions, which there are a lot of. His special will ignore taunts, which there are a lot of. And then he can also get rid of debuffs on himself and heal at the same time. There's a lot of debuffs flying around, so looks like he'll be really good. And of course, he helps out with payday to get you that gold, which we all need tons more of. We could all use a couple billion more. So Deadpool is a good investment long term for quite a few things. Alright, and this team's just about down now. I just have the one team left on this first run, my main team. The kill order I went with was Rocket Raccoon first, and then I tried to get one of the Koraths down just because they're so fast and doing damage. But actually, unless you can keep the Kingpin reliably stunned so he can't get his buff off, you want to take him out next, just because once that buff goes off, then that team you're fighting with is pretty much dead in the water. This is the main team I tried first. I regularly have Black Widow in there in place of Iron Man. Of course, I don't have her available. I've actually switched to Spider-Man instead of Iron Man in the team now. It's doing a little better. I usually do about 1.5 to 2 million damage a day. Could be better if I put a little more into my Spider-Man and max him out. He's only level 60 and tier 10 right now, so I might max him out and see how well I can do each day, see if I can bump that up to like 2.5 million. It works better with Spider-Man because he gives more control with his stun that also adds a slow on it, and then his defense down boosts your damage up. So I found the sweet spot is get it down to around 4, 5, 6 enemies, and if you can get them all slowed, stun the most powerful one, and then the healing can keep you up, and then you can start pumping out the Ravagers with Yondu, and you can get them down. That's what's been working for me so far. Some days I even take out 3, 4, 5 enemies, depending on how well the run goes. I just finished the second node earlier today, and I'll show you the leaderboard at the end. But yeah, long term for this mode especially, but for all the nodes, it really looks like the way to go is all in on Fury. If you can stand the monotony of only working on minions for months on end. I couldn't, so that's why I didn't go it, but my Masters of Launch podcast co-host, Chewburger84, he went that route. He has completed all of Dark Dimension. He's like number 13 on the leaderboard. He 100%ed it. I think he's starting on the time run now. So that was, and plus he's, doing amazing in raids, arena, everything with it. So it's a ridiculously overpowered team. If you can stand the monotony of just working on minions for months on end to get your Fury, you can have the most overpowered team in probably any video game ever. Who knows if they're going to nerf them? They might. They really should, but I don't know. We'll see. The other option to do well in this mode, which I mentioned at the beginning, was getting your Black Widow 6 stars either through tons of luck or buying any offers you see for her, because who knows if they'll ever even put her on a node or in any store. They're just going to keep her as a cash cow, I'm assuming, just because she is so amazing. Only other option I can think of if you really want to complete all of this mode in a timely manner might be maxing out a defenders team, because they have a lot of sustain. But in the meantime, while you work on those teams, you can use this team here that I use with Spider-Man to slowly chip away at it each day. Quake is amazing because of her slows, her earthquake and offense down, and like I said, Yondu pumps out the Ravagers once you can get a little control going and then do a lot of damage that way. And of course, Night Nurse with the awesome heals, and Captain America with the defense up and the taunting. I am bringing up Mordo and going to try him out, maybe see in the place of Spider-Man, see if he can help a little bit on some parts where you don't need the stun, but the blinds will work better. So I'm going to see how that goes once I get him up to 6 stars and geared up. He's getting kind of close. So I'll do another video in the future if he works out pretty well. I'm still waiting to see how all the new Brotherhood mutants are going to look when they come out, see if they'll be a good enough team to also be good to run through this, and if they'll be available enough to be able to get them up to 6 stars, actually use them in there, and hopefully they will counter the Fury team and do well in raids. I think I'm going to have to bite the bullet and start farming up my Kree and working towards the ridiculously overpowered Fury team. One nice bonus to doing that is they're going to buff the Kree minions to make them better in other modes other than just getting Nick Fury. So that'll be nice. They'll help you out, have an extra team for raids, and for this eventually also in the Dark Dimension. So maybe they can do a little more damage in there. Also, they're supposed to buff Ultimus, but that is a really also long-term, very in-game kind of thing to get. I think personally I'm only at 34 out of 180 towards unlocking Ultimus, and that's only because I got a lucky 15 drop of him in one of the orbs. And this run's just about over, and just about wiped me out here. Dark Dimension is definitely ultra in-game mode, very long-term, high mountain to climb for most people. So it shouldn't really be your main focus when thinking about where you want to take your roster. Just another thing to keep in mind. If you do want to go the full Power Gamer route, then you definitely can't go wrong going Fury. But most people, I would think, don't want to just mess with minions for months on end. Ultimately do what's most fun for you. If you want to complete the most stuff, then yeah, go for Fury. If not, go after the characters you want that are still good, the named characters. That's what I've been doing. I've been going the more tech, cosmic, mystic route, which has definitely done well in raids, especially in the alpha raid, because I do the cosmic route. So that helps out my alliance as well, because if everyone went Fury, then you wouldn't do as well like in the alpha raids where you need the certain traits. There I am on the leaderboard, just finished the second node today. So as you can see, not tons of people are making tons of progress in this mode. It is ultra end game. So I don't feel so bad about going so slow and just slowly chipping away. Alright, that is going to do it. Thanks for watching. On a serious note, please keep my mother in your thoughts and prayers. I've been taking her to a lot of doctor's appointments lately. They think she might have cancer again. So I'm going to be with her every step of the way, helping her fight that. And so my videos won't be quite as regular while we deal with that, but I'll still get them up whenever I can. Until next time, stay tuned and stay awesome.